here we are preparing for Museum of Futures, which is an initiative for Body Mind Festival, and also a concept that we devised throughout last year. I think it took some time, and it is all about collecting different practices, choreographic practices, among a group consisting of 6 people from Scottish Dance Theatre and 6 people from Polish side that we chose in an open call.
This part of the project is a residency. It's a research residency. We are in Burdock, in the countryside in Poland. It's beautiful. The weather is stunning. The landscape is amazing. The food is amazing, and we have a studio, a dance studio where we are coming together to practice and to share. And I suppose my role and Agnieszka's role is to sort of like hold the space and provide a framework for the meeting of these 12 artists, 6 from Poland, 6 from Scotland.
The project itself is a part of Polish-UK season, which is happening right now in 2025, and it's a cooperation between Ciało, Umysł Foundation and Festival and Scottish Dance Theatre. And what we are creating here right now will be presented during festival, which is called Ciało, Umysł, now in October in Warsaw.
Something that we were interested in, and that I think the dancers were also really keen to, is for this moment of the project to really stay research focused, for us not to rush into trying to create a product or try to make a performance in like 6 days. It's impossible, or it's possible, but like that's not the point. The point is really to exchange and to share practices with each other, and to imagine, to get into a place where you can sort of imagine different futures and what might be relevant in those futures. How do we want them to look like?
Open your heart, chest, look back, go back to the center.
These 12 people who are working on this project have different experiences, different practices. Some of them have worked as intimacy coordinators, some of them work with elderly people on dance and choreography, some of them explore different communal and collective approaches towards dance and performing arts. So all this is now at our disposal, and from the early morning till the evening, people show their expertise. They try to establish a new mode of working, and also to get to know each other. And finally, they are going to practice in the Museum of Contemporary Art in Warsaw, where they are going also to invite participants of the Body Mind Festival to this collective sharing experience.
And I think what's really beautiful to witness is that the dancers they're not only trying to research sort of artistic ideas, but they're also working at being together and at working together and making decisions in a way that feels equitable and where everyone feels like empowered and it has autonomy. And it feels like a privilege to be able to witness that, and the hard work that goes into that. Like there's many conversations, but they feel fruitful and important. And then there's also moments of like, okay, enough words, we want to move and be in action. And that's really, it's really beautiful to see how people also imagine ways of working together that feel more inclusive and more healthy, that give room for everyone to bring who they are themselves, and for, I think there's been a lot of emphasis on like bringing yourself into something and that being absolutely right. Like what you bring and who you are is absolutely perfect and right for this moment. So it feels exciting to think we're gonna bring that spirit to this sharing in Warsaw where it's not so much about like, you know, keeping an audience away and I don't know, impress them with a spectacle, but like about bringing them in and into the questions, the research, the vulnerability, the practice and the questioning more than like, you know, keeping them afar. And yeah, I'm excited. It's kind of scary as well in some way, but exciting.
This information that I can take all the time I needed was like repeated every day at the morning check-in, morning sessions, and we could, yes, first of all spend time together and to know each other, to know the environment, and let the process like come out like very naturally, I would say.
Really is sort of a laboratory, but sort of about inhabiting place together, wondering about what the future might look like. You know, how our bodies will extend towards the future, which is quite an open question, but it's been quite crazy how far we can go with this. We are from different backgrounds, from different places, and I feel we have a lot of potential in this exchange.
Verify you have 5 fingers whilst hugging at all times. More tentative, like the first hug.
like a lot of bonding going on. This is also this very positive and shiny side of this process, that people get to know each other, and this is also something that we wanted to facilitate. So certainly there is a lot of connection going on between the Scottish team and Polish team. As far as we know, everybody feels pretty safe within the group. So we also hope that it continues somehow, that they will stay in touch. And this whole sharing idea is also about tools that travel from one context to another context. So even if not all of them become the closest friends, then we can see how practices and tools travel from the field of independent artistic research in Poland to the Scottish practice and the other way around. So I think this is partly the legacy.
It's something that you feel that the connection with, you feel that you want to take it, just take it, but don't search for it. When you feel it, just take, collect.
We are all very embodied people, I don't know, I would say, and this process of knowing each other was maybe that so reachable because of our bodies, because of the communication, non-verbal communication we had between each other. I felt sometimes like I'm in a laboratory and someone is like looking at us from outside and checking if it's gonna work somehow. But still, it was a very nice and pleasure time to find new paths of knowing other people.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see how much my colleagues that I know very well use the trust that we brought together to kind of also share it with some other people. That was really a nice special thing. And I was also just impressed by the people that we've met. Like, everyone is so generous and everyone is so open and also very willing to be real.
And write up to 5 pieces of paper, like 5 numbers. You were working with stuff and then you went closer to start. I'm working with you.
Our idea was to also give a platform for people who might never meet in one space to have opportunity to work together, and maybe out of it something will be born, like maybe some projects, friendships, whatever, relations. I know it will happen, and I just kind of, obviously I wish that sometimes this experience or this moments of like getting closer will stay. We'll have this ripples for the future.
I fell into their trap. A cow, a crane, and a pebbly twig.
For me, it's a lot of about an individual changing for good, and I will definitely take these tools of constant improvement, constant change, constant actualization of what's happening outside, what might happen in the future.
It's really like a seed for further exploration. Like we are only for a few days here, which are very rich and intense, but this is still something that I'm willing to grow further on.
I think for me the best thing about being here, and what's interesting also, is like, I think I've never experienced coming with a rep company to a residency with freelancers, artists. It really repositions your freelancer person within the context also of your own company. That was interesting. Like,
I'm also really curious, like, what of this do we bring home with us? Also, this playfulness and this like
placing of process really high in the hierarchy of what's important.
We've invited a camera into the room, and that's also a bit frightening because you're holding a process that is delicate and intimate and personal. But we also felt that it was important to also be able to share and show the way in which we are working and what sort of happens with and to people as we sort of working in that way. Because I think oftentimes when we think about international collaboration, we might think very quickly on like, okay, what's the show that we can make together, what's the product that we can create together, and that's sometimes really great, and that might happen in the future, who knows. Before that, I think there's also real value in creating meaningful encounters, and encounters that are going to, I don't know, enrich each other's perspective and challenge them as well.
Do widzenia!
Do widzenia! Do widzenia! Do widzenia! Do widzenia! Andiamo adesso!
Witamy wszystkich bardzo serdecznie na otwarciu festiwalu Ciało, Umysł w przestrzeni Muzeum Sztuki Nowoczesnej w Warszawie, którego pawilon tańca jest oddziałem.
Bardzo cieszymy się, że współpraca z Fundacją Ciało, Umysł w ramach 25. edycji festiwalu Ciało i Umysł jest jedną z pierwszych, które pawilon tańca prowadzi w ramach programu współprac partnerskich.
Jako Festiwal Ciało, Umysł zawsze lubimy być tam, gdzie coś się zaczyna. Tegoroczna 25. edycja festiwalu odbywa się pod hasłem Poruszenie. To słowo ma wiele znaczeń. Symbolizuje pragnienie, by coś w nas drgnęło.
We're really happy that the Museum of the Future project and Ray performance by the Scottish Dance Theatre are part of our UK-Poland Season 2025 programme, which is taking place throughout this whole year.
For the past week, we were in Studio Burdock, a little bit further north from here, and we have embodied, imagined, and explored a multiplicity of futures, sharing our artistic practices with each other, developing tools to work collectively in equitable ways, and building a temporary research community.
Tonight, we invite you to witness us at work and in process. Feel free to move around the free spaces of the Museum of the Future and meet whatever catches your interest and imagination.
Okay. Mystery. Drop the bass and hide away. I count money every day. You see my vision's always night. It ain't ever day. You ain't never close to safe. One step into a real G. Demons in my spirit making choices for a mystery. Drop the bass and hide away. I count money every day. You see my vision's always night. It ain't ever day. You ain't never close to safe. One step into a real G. Demons in my spirit making choices for a mystery.
Can I have one person in the space longing for a hug? Can I have another person rescuing this hugging, longing person by just approaching?
Approaching from the front.
But stopping somehow? More stops.
More stops, more
more
distance.
Huggable distance. Yeah, like
less distance.
each of
Huggable
hug.
distance. What's the
Yeah,
perfect
you can
huggable
rotate
distance
it because it's
without hugging?
beautiful.
But don't lose the distance.
A hug for a
Find that perfect
microsecond, like
distance
less
and
than
then
a second.
rotate
Like
the distance.
Yeah.
More like a. Can you just do the
and then skip the
of the hug
and go directly to the g. Like hack it.
Like a g. Skip the
More skipping.
More skipping.
More hugs.
Can one hug can a bit
hug
more than the other,
hug
like
skip?
70-30?
Can another hug
Can we have
appear
another body
somehow? Can the 70% hugger
next to the huggers? Can everyone just be more huggable?
Yeah, like a bit of perfume, but not too much.
Like kind of like a nice, warm, clean, but not sweaty sheets, linen
more
sheets,
feathers,
more
yeah.
down,
Hug more from down to up, like down to up recruitment of a hug. More recruited.
Check in. More recruited. Are you hugging yourself first before you hug? Be 10 years old, hugging your mum when she was 10 years old.
Different time, like hug your mum when she was 10 years
like
old.
First day back at school,
your
best friend
feeling. But
hug.
Hug
your mum.
One of you
but
of
you're
us
just gonna
not
hug anyway.
on his hand. More really
suit,
huggable,
more
but
cravat.
more bodies in the
like
space.
a snotty
More
hug.
patriotism,
So it's
more
like
color.
all the right
You're hugging the
tension,
president
but
of
there's
France.
more shiny shoes,
Press
squeaky shoes.
Can we have
more
like
sharing,
more intimate, some hug, with a contract president,
more exchange of smells and ideas, less possession,
more smell,
more consent.
More floor is lava. You want to hug the floor is
more
lava.
Presidents, more contracts, and the floor is lava.
Hugging from the greatest distance you can have. The further you go, the more you have intention of hugging. More signature
in all directions and dimensions. No arms.
More like my hug. More
but
hugging like my hug. Your neighbor, you don't know my hug. Like specific hug, like only me.
Świadomość ogromu przemocy dziejącej się wciąż, nieustannie wokół nas może być przytłaczająca, może próbować nas obezwładnić i odebrać siły. Żyjemy w czasach, w których przemoc wobec zwierząt pozaludzkich jest normalizowana i stosowana na skalę tak olbrzymią, jak nigdy wcześniej. Lata intensywnej propagandy lobby mięsnej